Good afternoon. It's John from the Vantage Markets Private Client Group, and here is your midweek market update. So this commentary is for general information purposes only and should not be considered as personal financial advice. Any projections are not guaranteed, and past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance. It's currently 11:39 on the 25th of Feb, and so far this week we've seen markets fairly mixed. We've had currencies trading range bound or flat. The major moves have been in the US equity markets, with headlines surrounding the AI bubble and gold, which had a good start to the week. We may be witnessing a shift in the macro market environment with a lot of global uncertainties developing. We got fresh trade wars, in regards to the tariffs, threats of geopolitical tensions, mixed economic data with tech concerns in the AI space. And just looking at the charts, we can see to end last week, since from Wednesday till Friday, we saw close to 5% move on gold. And then to start this week on Monday's session, we got a continuation of the move, up 2%. But we've since seen prices pull back to retest the top end of that range that we broke out of. And if we were to see continued support above 5100 or that prior resistance, there's an argument to be made for a retest of the highs around 5250. However, if we do break back below yesterday's high and form some resistance below that prior daily resistance, we might see prices moving back down to 5,000. So looking at the US indices, which we have seen some volatility in this week, we saw that markets have remained bullish on the higher time frame, however, have largely been trading range bound since the start of the year. We are, as mentioned earlier, starting to see a bit of a shift in the macro market environment. We can see that looking at the S&P, we're retesting that prior daily resistance, and any new news around the AI fears or concerns may lead to a retest of prior lows around the 6,800 level. However, if we do get some renewed optimism, we might break back above previous resistance and push up towards 7,000. Attention now shifts to the second half of the week, which includes a few data releases. We've got Australian inflation data, which actually just came out. So we got increase of 0.4% for the month of January. So it's basically double what markets were expecting at 0.2%. Obviously, we got a pretty big jump last month, but that was December's figure, which you do have an increase in holiday spending. So they were looking at a number of 0.2%. So we've now come up double that figure, which is a bit concerning. And let's just see how prices reacted to on the charts. So we've seen a short-term spike following the news. I guess that could be market participants leading to increased rate hike expectations, still sitting below that 0.71 key level. But yeah, we will need to see some more solid confirmations to support further upside, as we have seen a pretty significant increase already, with prices up close to 10% since November. So looking ahead, we do have a speech from Trump later today, and throughout the rest of the week, we've got the weekly jobless claims numbers, which are looking for an increase to 210 or 210,000. And on Friday, we've got PPI data, where they're looking at a decrease from last month's figure. So what markets are watching next is the situation in Iran. So last week, Trump gave a 10 to 15-day deadline to reach a deal. US military deployment in the Middle East has been the largest since 2003. Reports claim that US strikes may be larger, longer, and sooner than expected. We do have to watch out for more tariff headlines. So last week, we got the US Supreme Court, which struck down the Trump tariffs. The court said that the president exceeded his authority. Trump pledged to reimpose some tariffs using other legal tools, and currently is exercising a process which allows him to impose 10% tariff for 150 days. However, there have been talks of increasing that to 15%. So this week, we need to watch out for any escalations in the situation in Iran. and any headlines regarding new tariff threats. That's a quick midweek check-in on markets. Thank you for your time, and as always, trade safe.